The Hollywood spotlight shined on the usually quiet streets of downtown Gastonia today. Hand signals are on the roadways again here in Gaston County. Getting their hands dirty for a good cause will help these students develop more than just a green thumb. Helping the Postal Service stamp out hunger this Saturday is easy. Just place your filled plastic bag by your mailbox and let your letter carrier do the rest. This new plan by Crescent Communities would mean sweeping changes for this area along the Catawba River. Spring break starts next week for CMS schools, and for many of you, that means a road trip. And I'm Kimberly Hyde. Carolina Connection is a production of the Carolina School of Broadcasting in partnership with Cox Media. Historic downtown Belmont is a favorite among locals, and thanks to a new grant program, Main Street is about to get a big makeover. We'll have all the details coming up next. Thanks for joining us for CSB News at 5. I'm Kimberly Hyde. Sergeant Bo Bergdahl returned to court on Tuesday for a pre-trial hearing at Fort Bragg. Could Charlotte be the next city to get a Major League Baseball team? Find out next in the Sports Report.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. In an age where protecting planet Earth is vital, reconnecting with the great outdoors is more important than ever before.
Gardening is a part of the curriculum in science, and so it's a natural way to move beyond dirt in a classroom in a Dixie cup to outside to really true, authentic gardening.
Shovels in hand, these students at Whitewater Academy are planting milkweed to bring back the monarch butterfly. Local Rotary Club Governor Anika Wilson is spearheading the project and says it's important to teach youth early on how to take care of Mother Nature.
What a legacy it would be for Rotary to see the monarchs come over and for kids to say, we helped build that legacy. It is so exciting to see all these people are collaborating with each other and doing good in the world.
In celebration of Earth Day, students at over 50 CMS schools are planting these butterfly gardens on their campuses. Many volunteers and partner organizations make it possible.
One of our key investment priorities for the Duke Energy Foundation is the environment. And so we focus on programs that help restore and protect wildlife habitats, natural resources, and most importantly, environmental education.
Getting their hands dirty for a good cause will help these students develop more than just a green thumb. Educators say it's days like this that helps create the next generation of environmental stewards.
We feel that if we can expose them early on to these types of opportunities, they too might become gardeners as they get older and have their own homes.
And as students do their part to help the monarch, many hope the butterfly effect catches on.
Well, we hope we kind of planted the little seed in everybody's mind, not only in the garden, that people will just keep planting milkweed in their backyard, and maybe together, all of us can bring this beautiful creature back.
For Carolina Connection, I'm Kimberly Hyde.
I'm proud to call them Charlotte Magazine's 2015 Charlotteans of the Year.
37-year-old Sean Corbett may be Charlotte's most reluctant celebrity. It was never his intention to be honored at civic events or collect awards.
I didn't realize that it was that big of a deal, but I really appreciate it.
Simply known as Lucky around the neighborhood, Corbett owns the Lucky Spot Barber Shop on North Tryon Street. He's been cutting hair in the same chair for nearly a decade.
I cut everyone from pastors to Carolina Panthers to law enforcement to the everyday city worker. That chair is like my home.
Corbett's shop is a cornerstone in the Sugar Creek community where many children are born into poverty and raised by single mothers. Growing up in Brooklyn, New York, Corbett can relate.
My mother worked a lot, so we had a lot of time for yourself. So I got into some of the stuff that most young kids get into. As I got older, things started to get worse.
After years of police run-ins and a couple of prison stints, Corbett turned his life around.
Me being a business owner and coming from where I came from to now, I think I'm just a great example, just letting people know that where you start is not where you have to finish.
Corbett believes giving back is just as important as getting a good haircut.
Once I bought this barbershop in 2010, I vowed that I will always give back. It does take a village to give back to the community and give positive influences to the kids.
When conflicts between police and young black men made headlines in 2014, Corbett took notice, most notably the violence that erupted in Ferguson, Missouri after the Michael Brown verdict.
I sat up that night and I watched them destroy their own neighborhood. And I just knew that something had to be done because I felt like at that time that if Michael Brown would have had some form of a relationship with that officer, I think that situation could have been prevented.
Moved by the Ferguson riots, Corbett came up with a concept of how to build better police and race relations right here in Charlotte. That idea became known as Cops and Barbers, a program that connects community members with Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officers.
When Sean came up with the idea of how we can have more people that we can mentor, then it is developing to the organization Cops and Barbers. It benefits the community because we don't want to have the conflicts that Ferguson and other cities have.
Well, it is one of those amazing initiatives that starts in the community with one person who has a great idea, and this was one idea that became an amazing sensation because it's an opportunity for our police officers to interact with the public.
Corbett and CMPD organize events across the city.
First and foremost, our cops get to talk to kids and connect on a human level and really start building that trust that we all seek in this line of work, especially right now.
Most of the time when we're out with the community, it's because something's wrong or somebody called us. What we're trying to do here is create an environment where we can have normal, everyday conversations, fellowship with one another, and learn from each other.
Each event draws hundreds of kids and parents, connecting the community in a way that promises a lasting, positive impact.
We've been to countless high schools, countless elementary schools, and we have these great conversations with kids. I have kids coming out here today that would have not come to an event like this a year ago.
Kids often learn about what they see. So if they see that people coming together, having a good time, they see officers there, and then they also bring that back home and they bring it back to school. So it's really good.
We know that public safety is a two-way street, and the Cops and Barbers program has really moved us forward in that building of trust, understanding, and seeing folks on a human level.
Cops and Barbers gained national attention last year when it was recognized by President Obama. Corbett earned 2 trips to Washington, D.C., but says his motivation remains simple.
A kid like me, I would have never thought I would be at the White House. But to me, the most important thing is when a complete stranger comes up to me and says, "Hey man, keep it up." Or people say, "Hey man, our kids need to be saved. There's a lot going on that needs to be changed. We believe in you, we appreciate it."
Despite the magazine covers, media interviews, and Charlottean of the Year honors, Corbett desires a legacy far greater than the limelight.
When it's all said and done, I want people to know that he really cared. Just letting kids know that you care can make the difference between going right or left. I'm just a regular guy that care about my community and the kids that's in it.
He's the most honorable person I've met in the last 5 years. His heart's in the right place. He's doing things for the right reasons, and he wants to make Charlotte a safer city. How can the chief of police not love that?
The success of Cops and Barbers shows great promise for police and community relations in Charlotte, and Corbett maintains we can all do our part to make a difference.
It's up to us to understand that we can control what happens in our city. We have to love our city. We have to continue to make Charlotte one of the best cities in the United States. Thank you.
For Carolina Connection, I'm Kimberly Hyde.